The 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here, and so is the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Detroit, where the Pistons will be going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. For the Cavaliers, they're not satisfied with the record over the last 10 games. Under 500 basketball, just not good enough. Looking to improve tonight. And tonight we'll be seeing Andre Drummond, pound for pound, one of the toughest players in the game, a monster in the post. Guys, is he the most physically punishing player in the league, Shaq?
Yes, the amount of space he takes up in the middle is impressive. He shrugs off all sorts of contact inside.
Well, he's got a blend of size and explosiveness, which is kind of unique. I haven't really seen a big man ever with size and explosiveness ever.
I can't really recall anybody either. Kenny, it's an excellent point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm racking my brain going back years and years and years in this league, and I can't think of a guy who is as physically punishing and intimidating just when you look at him.
And you think about it. You could look around, there's pictures of players all in this room, and I still can't see anyone who has that kind of culture.
Whoa. What?
Take it back to Kevin, Ernie.
Okay.
Oh, Shaq was pretty imposing.
No, don't say it now. It's too late.
That's right.
No, it's too late. I don't want to hear it.
Right behind Andre Drummond. You got my vote.
Cavaliers coming to an Eastern Conference contest in this game. Well, what better way to spend a Monday night than with the 2K Sports team and the NBA. Welcome, everyone. Along with Greg Anthony, Brett Berry, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. You look at Detroit. A great start of the season for them, playing very well so far.
And right now for the Pistons, well, one of the big stories of the year. Already this team's been absolutely on fire, and it hasn't just been one game here or there. It's been a sustained effort.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything that anyone saw coming. You couldn't see it in the offseason or the preseason, but they've come out here in the beginning of the year and done something pretty special.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, LeBron and Crowder, the tandem at forward. Smith is out there with Rose, and it's Love in at the center position. And that one falls for Jackson. The last season for Reggie Jackson, he just couldn't get back to full strength. Missed a lot of time, Greg, as you know, with that injury to start the year. And even when he returned, his legs wouldn't cooperate and give him his usual burst and acceleration.
Yeah, and you could see it in Jackson's performance and really the numbers. Steep drop in production from what he had been putting up, and very dependent on his burst. So hopefully he can avoid any leg troubles moving forward.
Early in the regular season here, some teams off and running, but Brent, if you've had a talented roster that's not coming together yet, what steps do you take to try to get that compass pointed in the right direction?
Well, I guess it depends on the players that you're looking at, Kevin. If you made a move in the offseason with a veteran guy who you thought was going to do A, B, and C, and you only see him do A, then maybe you got to think about the lineup needs some tinkering. But if it's younger guys and still guys who are trying to develop, and now you're asking them to expand their games, I think you got to err on the side of being patient to see what might transpire over the course of the entirety of the season.
Two shots.
Free throw good, Crowder.
And when you look at Jay Crowder, he kind of bridges that gap between role player / star player. The numbers might not wow you, but his tough play at both ends of the court is extremely valuable.
And both free throws good from Crowder. And Greg, wouldn't you agree, Crowder clearly one of the best in the NBA in defending?
Without question. I mean, this guy guards 3 positions every night. And the combination of strength, quick feet, and then the quick hands make him a problem.
And here's Rose. After Reggie Jackson was able to get the triple. Rose against Jackson. Smith for 3. Rebound, Detroit. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And you know what? Up against a weak defense, they were allowed to do pretty much whatever they wanted.
What I like, though, besides that, is that they just didn't settle for it, because weak defenses, you could take bad shots. That's not what they did here tonight.
Here's James. After the made shot from Andre Drummond. Pass break, Detroit. Jackson's got the ball.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time.
Detroit shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And a season ago, only converting at about a 72% clip from the line.
The first free throw is good. And the Cavs over the last few seasons setting records when it comes to three-pointers made.
And really, they did a good job of surrounding LeBron with floor spacers. They doubled down on that when they got Channing Frye. And then when he and Kevin Love play together in the front court, the Cavs can bury you with their long-range shooting.
Good on both.
Well, they depend on him to score, and that doesn't mean just from the field. Sometimes it comes from the charity stripe.
Korver passes to Wade. That's a pick by Love. Wade against Jackson. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game. I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
And the basket by Jackson.
Well, you love the fearless, aggressive attitude. Doesn't let size matter.
Well, he also has that innate ability to just create enough separation. That's a nice move.
And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And a chance to hear from LeBron James as he talked about the challenge of remaining calm and collected throughout the ups and downs of the NBA season.
For me, at a younger age, I was never even keel. We would win a playoff game when I was younger. I was excited out of my mind, and then you would lose, and I was the worst person in the world. But I think at this point in my career, I kind of stay even. One game shouldn't affect the next game. You know, you go out and play as hard as you can and live with the results.
Again, just another part of the maturation process for LeBron. He's become such the consummate pro.
He is absolutely as solid and steady as a rock at this point in his career. Nothing rattles him. Nothing throws him off his game.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
And boy, I tell you, it didn't take them long to find their rhythm. Strong offense through one.
A nice game plan coming in, and right now sticking to it. It's a nice lead that they have.
Marjanovic is out there with John Lewis. Then there's Harris. And it's Smith. And it's Galloway in at the 2. They're the group Detroit will start the second with. Now here's Green. 9 points last game. Wade kicks to Love. And the rejection by Marjanovic. Smith with it. Wade picks him up. And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. Pass to Galloway. There's the pick. Just 5 to shoot. Fires it up. Again, the Pistons good for 2. And so here's Cleveland. They trail by 9 points. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Tough night. I mean, they attacked on both ends, and unfortunately for them, they just got called for a lot of fouls.
Well, unfortunate's a good word, Greg, but on the other hand, you have to make an adjustment. Not every game is going to be called the same way, so adjust to the whistle.
Here's Galloway after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Here's Marjanovic, and he banks in the layup. Marjanovic has got the lead up to 9 now for the Pistons.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Now here's Korver. 23 points his last outing. Pass to Shumpert. Just 5 to shoot. Over Harris. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
Great awareness of the clock to end the quarter.
Now, you like to finish things on a positive note, and he times that one beautifully.
And so it's Detroit, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. Back to the action after this word.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. Looking at the Pistons, taking a look at the Pistons, Shaq, what did you think?
Well, the offense is running on all cylinders. Guys are focused, executing, not playing outside of themselves. That's why their shooting percentage was so high. See it up there, Ernie, in the stratosphere. Anyway, they're mixing things up, which keeps the defense scrambling.
Kenny, let's get your insight on Cleveland.
Well, they're giving up too many high percentage looks, Ernie. They're not closing down the lane, and they're not going hard on the perimeter. That will get an L in any book.
And now, folks, just moments away from the start of the third quarter.
And welcome back to the Motor City with a look at the giant fist of Detroit legend Joe Louis. Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. One of the stories here, Reggie Jackson getting it done today.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, he has been dominant as we expected coming into this one. Skilled and relentless.
Brent, when you were playing in Seattle, those were the best assist years, statistically, of your career. What led you to become such a catalyst for that offense?
Well, it was interesting just as I finally got an opportunity to start to play with the basketball as a two-guard a little bit more in Seattle, trying to play a little bit more up-tempo. And again, I'll mention opportunities because of Gary Payton getting double-teamed. It opened up situations for me, Kevin, where I could be a bit more creative as the off guard.
And you love that, didn't you?
I love playing that way. I wish I had more years of doing that, kind of the run-and-gun style that Phoenix employed for most of the mid-2000s with that 7 seconds or less. I could have been agreeable with that.
Checking out the group for Tyronn Lue to start the second half. Smith is the 2 with LeBron at the 3. Kevin Love out there with Jay Crowder. And it's Rose in at the point. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. That one on Love. And while most teams are moving in the direction of attacking from three-point range or inside, Greg, this Pistons team will still look to make a living in the mid-range game.
Yeah, and the Pistons right at the top of the NBA in terms of the highest percentage of their points coming from the mid-range. Almost 20% of their points coming from that area. You have to play to the strengths of your team, even in an ever-evolving game. Right now, that's where their bread is buttered.
And he can't get the first one. And you look at the Cavs coach, Tyronn Lue. Brent, what stands out to you?
Well, he's got confidence. I would tell you, Kevin, I'd have confidence, too, if that number 23 was suiting up for me every night. But he demands accountability. He demands a respect for the game. And this team has had a tremendous run in the early stages of Ty Lue's coaching career.
And he's good on the second. The Cavaliers trail by 8. Outside Rose. He feeds it to James. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. James has got his second basket of the night.
Nothing they can do there. LeBron's such a force. Gets that shot up pretty quick that time.
Jackson kicks to Johnson. They set the pick. The pass to Drummond. Right side Bradley over Smith. And Bradley gets it to go. Bradley's got his first points in this one. 52 seconds left in the third. Rose kicks to James. Count that bucket. LeBron's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, LeBron going up strong on the inside doesn't give the D a chance to block his shot and carves out just enough room.
Drummond dishes to Johnson. Right at the free throw line, and Detroit again with the bucket. There's 25 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. LeBron with it. 6 points for him. Smith outside. Over in the corner, Rose. Just 5 on the clock. Using his post move to get the 2 points. Rose has got his second basket of the game.
And Derrick Rose certainly equipped athletically to punish teams in the paint.
And so is Detroit with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. A good size advantage, and they'll look to increase it. Back right after this. And now let's take a listen to Stan Van Gundy on a recent huddle.
And we got to keep closing now. We can't just give guys shots, pull to the ball, get our rotations. Let's go.
Well, you can't allow open shots and expect to play for Stan Van Gundy. He'll yank you out of there, guys, quickly.
Yeah, I mean, all 5 guys need to talk to each other, help each other defensively, and if just one guy slacks off, it's really easy for your defense to break down.
We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. Lure and Drummond together down low. Then there's Avery Bradley. Then there's Tobias Harris. And it's Galloway in at the 1 spot. That's the group for Detroit right now. Now, here's Wade. LeBron with the bucket.
And that's a good-looking stroke right there from LBJ.
There's Galloway. He's covered by Rose. Drummond the screen, and here's Bradley from 3. They get it back, and Drummond is right there.
You know we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Rose passes to Wade. He dishes it to James. Over Drummond. And that one comes up a bit short. Detroit leading by 8. There's Galloway. And it's Lure, top of the key. Outside Bradley. Harris kicks to Drummond. Over James. And the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
And you could just see everything coming together like a perfect storm, and they just rolled on through.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They trail by 10. 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Andre Drummond.
And his percentage from the field tonight seemed almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
He doesn't take over games like this very much, but it's always possible. And when he does, here at home, these fans love it. And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. 44 seconds left in the fourth. On the wing, Johnson. Inside. Tolliver with the bucket. And now a 12-point Detroit lead.
And you can tell they're ready to start celebrating a well-deserved victory here tonight.
Yeah, you can see the fans, they've already started celebrating themselves. A gutty performance.
And here's Jackson. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And that'll do it, folks. For Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.